tournament lives. We'll see what they can get done here. Starting off on Pearl, I've got to say I'm a big fan of this composition. It's very off-meta, I think, not having a chamber in the mix of things, electing for the Killjoy instead. But we've seen Roxy playing that the other day. A lot of mid control, already seeing her posted outside of mid, and now creeping forward towards Suzu.
And it's starting early. Suzu finds one onto Ness and is able to TP away from that one. A slow contact push from Smurfette all the way down and does not commit forward off of her relay bolt.
Well, right now we still have Roxy waiting to activate that mid lurk. There's a tripwire she has to get past, so maybe waiting for her teammates to kill Suzu. Trip is broken, and Suzu is just smashing Guild right here. Absolutely insane. The suck over in B-Link too. Kurumi plays off of it perfectly, and it all starts to fall apart. A Prime Gaming flawless to kick off this map.
What a pistol round for Fennel Esports here. I mean, Guild, on that initial setup there, it felt like they just weren't completely ready with that utility to clear. Normally when you're doing an execute towards that side of the map, you'll have that Fade Cat coming through and clearing out that chamber position, but the chamber player, Suzu, was able to get away with one, escape too.
Oh yeah, and look, it's all fun and games playing the Killjoy comp really strong in its own right, but there's a reason why so many teams lock in the chamber. It is B long control, and Suzu was on it right there. The 3K, and actually, because of that, she has full armor and rifle heading into this next round, which is just crazy for a round 2.
Yeah, you're not going to see that one every day. And Fennel will be playing just kind of this contact setup towards B-Link, that solo chamber anchoring down B-Long, kind of just the standard stuff for your defense on Pearl here.
Yeah, slow contact. We'll see what they can do. Actually, Kohal, the one with just a ghost here, so maybe not the ideal first contact as the rest of Fennel can sort of scooch on past, or Guild rather, can get on towards this A site. Maybe a fast retake here for Fennel if they want to, but the real power hitters in the Raze and the Chamber not quite in position just yet. The over push comes straight on in to Kurumi, and she is there to get a couple before Claudia trades her out.
1 for 1, that's a gun recovered in space towards the spawn side. Guild has a comp that is strong in these post mines, so this is getting quite dangerous. Suzu for 1, but
no.
trades are there. It's only her left, and Claudia's found 3.
Claudia's just farming down there in secret, out of nowhere, it seems like, and they actually steal away a Vandal heading into this next round. Absolute madness, the trading, and just sort of the hand-holding from the teammates of Guild there, making sure they were always in a position to trade one another, and Fennel just seems like they got caught off guard before the full retake came in. Again, Festival and Suzu were so far away that in the time it was taking them to rotate over, Guild was just pushing towards their spawn.
Yeah, and for Fennel now, that is putting them in a very tough situation. They put a very heavy investment into that second round and now have to try and make some sort of adaptation. It'll be this fight through mid here initially. Yeah,
we've seen this play from them the other day where it's the quick suck in A main that allows Smurfette to play off of it very quickly. Fennel actually 4 players in mid. Very quick to take all of that space. Potential for them to run into Roxy if they work in through window, but the plant is going to come in completely uncontested, and I think that's going to make Roxy very sus of what's going on here. You still haven't heard anything on site. It's just Roxy here running into a multitude of players, swinging into it, maybe a little bit ambitious, and a rifle now into the hands of Fennel.
But that's information now. Guild's reaction should be a push either into Art or towards the spawn side, and you see their idea is to take space outside the secret.
Positioning from Karu over in Art could potentially set up the team with a couple of flashes as they work out of A main, but the deep hold Guild have had, actually just fighting into it, electing to take those very long-range fights, sets them up very nicely, and Claudia with a back-to-back 3K gets it done.
3 left alive for Guild. Relatively clean round there on their anti-eco. For Fennel, I think it is interesting to see this variation with the Fade Raze. A lot of teams opting for that Neon instead like Guild, where generally that Neon is going to be kind of your contact rotate player who almost immediately is swinging off of the first bit of noise. But with this Raze, it is a little bit tougher to do that, and more so, you'll see teams sometimes going for the kind of opening gambits with her instead, taking space in mid with that Seize Nade, for example.
Yeah, it's like the opening gambits, or instead of sort of blitzing out onto a site using your paint shells, if you're able to rotate over quick enough to stop the plant and get the rest of your team involved.
Yeah, and it's kind of counterintuitive. You generally think you'd see those faster plays with the Neon, not on the defense, but here on the attack. Maybe it's a little bit speedier for Smurfette, trying to get Suzu off this line. She's heavily pressured and will eventually TP out.
This is funky from Guild. Exact same setup, except they've got 2 players over towards B long, right? Both lurkers here with Roxy and Ness, although they are noted out by Kurumi, who's just going to fall back now and just wait for the rest of her team to get there. Festival is very close in B-Link, and they are reading this rotation over.
Yeah, besides the power that this Killjoy gives you in post plants, you also have those mollies to clear corners, and you saw they used that instead of the Fade Cat to clear pillars. So Guild feels very safe in scaling towards long, but there are players just on the other side. 2 from Fennel, who might not be able to contest with that Killjoy lockdown coming in.
Yeah, they're just going to fall back, play 5-player retake on this one. Looks like Suzu may end up going for a flank. She was just posted up in A main. Instead, just going to call it back, TP back towards the team, but that means this plant is going to be uncontested, right? No one's actually fighting out. The rotations from Fennel are just waiting until the full commit is there, and Smurfette going to play forward here in towards B-Link. The flash is good, and the kills come through.
Roxy for 2 on that one. Only 3 left for Fennel to try and make this retake happen, and that fade ult will give good information. Land alone towards having the other risk below in spawn, and Suzu still only has this chamber operator to work with. And for Guild, their post-plant utility is excellent. They're holding close on the side. They have a player in long, and they might just shut this one down on the way out. No chance for Fennel to get back in.
None whatsoever. Roxy, look, everyone on Guild is just showing up for the 3Ks. Claudia had a couple, and now it's Roxy's turn. Roxy, who, I mean, for as long as I can remember, has just been fantastic on this team, but even in the loss the other day, very, very solid performer for the team. Can always rely on her. Even though she's, playing the Sentinel role, you think maybe not so much going on there. Always finding, whether it's the lurks or the late rounds, very, very impactful for this team.
Let's go.
And Guild is feeling it immediately. This team never wanted to be down in the lower bracket. EMEA's best. Another life on the line. They went from upsetting teams like G2 of looking fantastic regionally to now playing from a pretty tough position here early in this lower bracket. Already some giant teams to face here.
Oh my
Fennel the first step. And this setup is crazy, but Smurfette has funny neon ability, so can just completely escape it, no problem.
Just running through all the utility there. I'm actually glad we saw like the top-down MOBA view of that one to see all the abilities going down. As Kurumi with the push-up with Suzu is able to pick off Ness, and that creates so much pressure now for Guild. They've been able to make it into Art, and unbeknownst to them, there's actually no one on the A site. You also had this insane walk-up from Smurfette. Got 0 HP, 10 HP, technically, but with a chance to just backstab Gaharu in deep connector. If she decides to go underneath, she may just give up on that and instead fully clear the back site, which would be unfortunate because all of a sudden this insane flank doesn't actually give you that value of a kill.
But what it does give you is spawn control. They can plant for this space and hold on to it. That will be the decision for Guild. A good choice with this player disadvantage in their post plant.
Okay, so what's it going to be? There's still an alarm bot. I believe Roxy should be in range of that one, and yeah, Suzu is going to call off the late A main flank. The entire team now geared up to push in towards Art. That's going to be really hard to break out of.
Claudia actually wanting to take a fight early here. Fine Stu for it. Festival back on the trade. Only 1 rifle available now for Fennel, but they'll scale quickly into the site, and Seized is the player in the back lines, but support is there from Anya, so no worries for Roxy.
Man, it might have been all friendship on the walkouts, but with the aggression, the swings from Claudia in a round like that, they are not here to mess around.
I think Anya was the only one showing her true self in those walkouts.
Everyone else just put on the mask, and now it comes off. All of a sudden, it's slipping, and they've got guns. You better watch out.
But for Guild, yeah, they are feeling it. Fennel, not the only team with the good vibes in their favor here. They will be taking a
either work into Art or potentially flash through double doors to catch Kurumi off guard.
It does seem to be that fast Art play, but Festival ready for it. Swings ahead of Smurfette's slide and gets an opener for Fennel.
Yeah, playing in front of the concuss right there, definitely necessary. Now, there's still 2 players in mid, so Ness going to walk in, pop the smoke and the suck to guarantee they could break a potential tripwire if it were there. Unbeknownst to them, it was actually over to the B side of the map, but Guild, even in a 4v5, do feel a little bit locked into going for an A hit. The concuss is good onto Festival. Oh no, Anya able to catch her straight off guard, and now all the options to burst into this A site.
Yeah, Claudia just contacting out. There's 2 players trying to fight from Art. It's successful, but they don't expect Claudia. Only one. Roxy needs to trade. She does not have the chance. Now a 1 versus 2. Both positions noted. A backstab forthcoming. Spotted on the haunt and sprayed through the wall. Kurumi shuts down, and Fennel have their second.
Well played. I mean, it looked like the site was just going to open up straight right there, but Kurumi's positioning, fantastic. Playing next to Kaharu in art right there. Just shuts it down completely. Actually forces the A main players, instead of actually taking the side or maybe even pushing towards Secret, to sort of double back, pinch into art. Maybe had a chance, but not able to secure that second kill. Really good stuff.
That's how they close things out. Quick shot onto Roxy there, and now Fennel something to build off of on this defensive side. You really do want to be tallying up these rounds here, but despite what you might think with the Killjoy in the mix, I would say Guild's comp does lean more heavily towards the attack.
Yeah, it is interesting, right? I think Killjoy gives you so much control over mid. A very different setup for Guild, even in this A pinch, a much slower approach. Smurfette sort of holding hands, not handing holds, with her teammate as they work over towards art. Still very slow, not instantly executing off of this as both ultimates come on through. Everyone's concussed. Finally, Smurfette pushes through, and it's not done just yet. That's two.
Another stun as well. Excellent out of Smurfette. Site is that of Guilds, and Fennel don't have a lot of space from which to stage this retake. They've lost art control. The spike is planted open, but Suzu might look to change it. 2 kills for her, only 1 left standing in the link, and she needs to take this fight as well alone for the moment. In the backlines, 2 coming through, but she's not ready for Anya. Now a 2 versus 3, and that timer is taking a smoke in their face. And Fennel yet to find a way out of it. Ness has a crossfire with her player in art. Another star is available as well. I mean, the odds are just building against Fennel here, and it's just not going to happen.
Very good post-plant setup right there. The crossfire as it comes through, and even if Suzu is able to find 2 kills, Guild have the exact right idea of pushing in to reclaim art control. It does feel like when you work towards the A site as an attacker, a lot of times, like, if you as a team just fall back after you get the plant to play A main, it falls apart. You need either secret control or you need art control. And the idea from Guild has been push into secret after the round. Even if we lose our secret players, we need that position. So the fact that it wasn't just 2 players, it was a 3rd there as well. Suzu's like, come on, like, how many of you do I have to deal with before I actually get to the bomb site?
Yeah, just too many to contend with there. Guild will again head fast towards this A site. This time, nobody's home. Knock, knock, empty site.
Just wide open. This is not the first time Fennel have done this either. You know, on the scuffed buys, they are very much leaning towards one side of the map. And what's funny is that Guild just don't know, you know? They're now rotating back, but with positioning Fennel have, they hear everything. There's no secrets whatsoever anymore, although the fact that Ness is so late coming on through, we're actually going to hear that too. Suzu is aware, and that flank is going to get shut down.
It can be a double flank as well. That's unless Ness contends with Suzu. Big kill from the Astra. Is she ready for the second on this cross? Noise being made. But no swing, actually just holding, trying to set this late round flank up instead. Now the moment has come. Only a classic, but an ult available. That could be big. If she can ult these players towards long, her teammates can swing on site. Maybe they can build something of this.
Look at this push from Kurumi, just playing inside of the smoke right there. Is scouted out by the dog, and actually the ult on the flank, just like you're talking about. Kaharu coming around the corner is able to find a big kill. All of a sudden, the round's starting to get real awkward for Guild.
This is messy. Festival able to find a 3rd before she falls. It's just Anya, and she only has 20 seconds to work with. Knows that Kaharu is still holding in long, but I'm not sure if she's aware of Len's positioning. 10 seconds, she has to expedite this one, and that clock might just be her downfall. Tap on the spike, ready for the second player, isolates the duel, and now a safe position to plant.
So nicely played from Anya. Has the fault line just returned.
But she wants this fight early. She knows Kaharu is low. She knows she can win this one early, and the angle's just perfect. Anya for the Red Bull clutch.
Nicely played by Anya there. I mean, Fennel putting up one good fight, but not good enough in the end to deal with Anya in that clutch. I mean, this is a situation where just pure chaos unfolding, playing in and around the wall. I do think in the 2 versus 1, Len had ultimate available and could have potentially used that to cut off Long V and allow her teammate Kaharu to actually scale on forward and just play time a little bit more, and instead of giving that long-range fight as an option. Things for Fennel to think about, to be sure. At the end of the day, an eco round for them, so happy to get close, but the way Guild have been playing, they are just stacking these rounds up.
You should run.
Another one of these Killjoy ults has been earned for Roxy, and Suzu's just pushing towards long, trying to make something of her positioning. Doesn't get anything for it. Instead, this will likely just be Guild with a free site here.
Well, no, they really like these fakes. It looks like it is a free site. They have taken the site with 2 players, really just 1.
Never mind, not a fake. But
Yeah.
wait a minute, this could actually get weird. Festival, again on one of these fast flanks. Here's these rotators coming back. And that might trigger her teammates to tuck in, wait for the flank, but Ness so aware. 2 rounds in a row where she's done that.
It's actually ridiculous how this works out. Roxy with the timing, pushing into connector as well. It actually pays off for them, not instantly taking the site because of the confusion that Fennel have. It's like, wait, is it a fake? They should be on site, but no one's planting. What's going on? All of a sudden, you hear multiple players rotating through CT, and yet they're also in your spawn. I don't know. It's just so chaotic to think about for Fennel. What exactly is happening in all of these rounds, and Guild are going to be able to take a 7th.
Yeah, Fennel just going to be forced to save in this one. Already a lot of momentum.
Definitely. And you know what? I feel like everyone yesterday saw all the Fennel dancing.
Okay.
Right? Like, we were actually out in the audience. They were having a good time. We were sort of dancing with them.
It was
fun. It was a whole lot of fun. But the problem with dancing, if you've ever, gone, DJ on or something, you got to warm up into it.
Okay.
Right? You don't just instantly get out on the dance floor and start break dancing. Right? You gotta sort of sit in the corner, wait, see what's going on. So that's what we're seeing from Fennel right now. It's the early stages, right? Maybe even map 1. You wait for that it's all loosen up.
They're trying to find their groove still.
And then once they win a couple of rounds, that's when the hands get up in the air. That's when they start to feel themselves, have a good time. But it requires those few rounds to start stacking up for them to build a comeback.
They have to unlock the dance. They have to unlock the joy to come back in.
Exactly.
The secret power. We'll see if they have time to unlock it, because Guild is keeping it pretty locked down.
Yeah, they are no fun allowed, right? Music off. Unmute. The music has died.
Sad. Really tragic to see the absolute destruction of fun in the server, but maybe there'll be something more in this round.
I
Bonnie
don't
does
know.
Have ult, though.
They are about to zoom into the site. There is no safe area on this map whatsoever. Gato is just sort of tucked back into secret, has somehow survived his festival. Trades 1 for 1.
And there's another one of these flanks wrapping back through in mid, but it will just be Roxy taken down. Claudia falls as well. Smurfette needs to work her way in and try and take a fight here, even the odds, but she's getting hounded down by this utility. Doesn't matter. Run and gun the fade away onto the Astra player. And now only 3 left. Look at the guns, too. It's a tour de force, but it's fine if you find the right angle. Ness is down, Smurfette spotted, and Suzu just doing it all.
Oh yeah, closing out the round with a couple of op shots to get that one done, but also I think a great adaptation from Fennel. Playing 3 players in art, knowing that Guild keep pushing 1 by 1 into art. It's all about the post-plant art control for them. So I think that is something they need to carry into these last 2 rounds of the half.
Yeah, another big round for Suzu, too. She is the newest addition to this roster, technically just on loan from Zeta Division, but her story's been really cool, right? She was the first woman in the Japanese servers to hit Radiant from Japan. On top of that, like, coming into this team, it was this idea of, like, hey, I'm kind of the odd one out here. I'm not used to it. But at this point, like, she's talked about, like, how much the team is just brought her in and how good the vibes have been. Just they all feel like friends.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's crazy. You literally see that on stage, right? Dancing together, hugging each other, high-fiving, everything. It really does feel like such a solid, tight-knit group between one another that there is no odd person out. Just does not exist with this squad.
Absolutely not, but we'll have to see if they can convert a little bit more off of it. They're back to this setup in lane, contact off the trademark. Hasn't really been tested yet, but Smurfette gets in, gets out. Quick operation from Dylan.
Cat gonna hunt down, track down Guild members in mid. Guild have been very good, I think, at not overcommitting into any area. Right now they're just zooming into B Link, but still not necessarily fully sending it towards this B site as the spike does tempt down long.
Okay,
I mean, huh? The wide swing from Ness just clothesline Suzu.
Operator versus Astra with a Vandal, and somehow the Vandal's winning that one out. Down long. Absolutely ridiculous from Ness. She has been so good thus far in this tournament. I think she is, like, probably the most underrated player on this team. She might even be the best player on this team.
She is just owning. I mean, even in this game, just like the most like Giga Chad swings ever, too, right? Like, who does that? Just sprinting down long. You could pull back star or anything, you know. No, doesn't care. Is just going to actually take that fight up against the operator every single time. Oh, that one hurts, and I think Fennel just going to save these ultimates here. Maybe even save the rifles, too, with just one more round.
Though. Look at Roxy, the rat herself, already back in their spawn. Yeah, no saving today.
I do appreciate that Len goes ahead and tries to get the knife as well as she falls out. She's like, an honorable duel? No, absolutely not. Shut down. The gun does her in.
So a bit of a dishonorable Prime Gaming flawless for Guild there, but still do love to see it for them.
Absolutely no honor whatsoever. The flank, the pinch, you know, just absolutely brutal. Watch this again. The knife.
Actual NT there. And you can see Guild's laughing about it too. They know what's going on.
Suzu stepping up forward, down long, just that Sheriff in hand. Was so good back on the pistol round, but a little bit different when the enemy team brings rifles into play. I do feel like Guild have just been so crisp on this attacking side. Again, no real options for Fennel to find flanks or whatsoever because of how well Roxy's controlled mid. And, well, the Astral Ult is in play too, so it's a free plant one more time.
Nice seize to stop Smurfette, but it doesn't really matter with that wall up. This is going to be Guild able to just play this post plant for long, and oh, they've got alert. It's Roxy just applying pressure. Kind of a crazy repeat to take, but she wins it out regardless, and Smurfette has one of her own. Confidence flowing here for Guild, and Fennel, not much more to work with on this retake. Haru does have that rifle. Utility to work with too, it's something.
It is. You have the Cosmic Divide as well for Len if they actually manage to get out on site.
They have just been locked out for eons.
Yeah, there's double mollies on the spike too. Like, you gotta act quickly, you gotta act now. And yeah, there's a kill traded back by Len, but still just a 2 versus 5. Claudia entrenched in backside, ready to trade, swing off of her teammate. And the clock ticks away. I mean, the round's just lost.
It's done and dusted. Fennel taking a little bit too long on that retake, and Guild do claim 9-2. Great work out of them. I love the way that they're manipulating the map with this Killjoy.
Yeah, and I mean, this is the way Guild needed to bounce back, right? You don't expect the EMEA #1 seed to fall down into the loser's bracket to begin with, but to come out with a really strong showing on the first half, full confidence on these swings as well. They feel so strong heading into the second half.
Yeah, well, a bit of an opportunity for Fennel to recuperate, maybe come back stronger in the second half as we head to the desk.
Thank you so much, guys.
On that Neon, and this is what we wanted to see from her. There's getting a lot of A main control here, and while she does get these 2 frags, the team gets the side. It was beautiful.
It's a double
team gets
one.
the early plant. Suzu does punish them, but then there's another layer of that. They're pushing so much, but then Anya is waiting for them, and they finish up the round.
Side to deal with. That is the copium you got to go for. B long, perhaps ideas for them to attack there, but Guild set up again. I just really like how Roxy has crafted this Killjoy. Alarm down towards long, the turret in B-Link too, so no real chance to find any pinch in that area of the map. But Fennel not overcommitting just yet, just trying to find an opening pick for Suzu. She was strong, even in a 3-9 half, very strong on the defense. So give her the chance to take these kills. Maybe you can spin things around.
Yeah, and I think what's cool about Killjoy on this map is it kind of, in a way, solves teams that will always break the trip in Link. You have to commit a lot more to get rid of that turret. There's a lot more spots that work for it as well.
Yeah, and we saw like Guild the other day sort of putting Astra Stars. You can see that B-Link. See how that Astra Stars right there? That's going to be a pullback, right? The second the turret fires, they are tagged from the turret, so you move slower, then you get pulled, and the swing comes in. It's brutal.
It's cool stuff, but Guild could be in trouble here. They're a bit trapped in main. A late pinch coming through. They need to win this fight towards Art, but they're succeeding at it. Anya for 2, continuing her reign there. It's actually Smurfette to pick up the second as her teammate falls, and now she's very aware of this play in main. Just sitting within the smoke, biding her time as her team actually hasn't rotated over. I'm not sure if they're aware of this spike being down just yet.
Oh, they are. Smurfette just said, I can do it on my own.
Oh.
Maybe a little bit ill-advised as Len is right there to get the shot.
No, I think it was a good idea.
You think so? Maybe. I mean,
I believe in Smurfette, but
oh no, the clock is ticking down. Well, here's the thing, right? Is Len was really hoping to find a fight. Now the clock ticking so far down, 12 seconds. 2 players in Art gonna swing just before the plant is gonna come on through. Suck there as well. Ness finishes the job.
All right, well, that's an easy wrap-up here for Guild. They'll hit double digits off the pistol, and Fennel, unless they force into this round, it is going to be very tough for them to convert this.
Okay, so here's the thing, Mimi.
Okay.
Is, I don't know. It's going to be tough for them because they didn't actually, or they did manage to get a plant, so maybe they could go for something on their own. I don't think that is going to end up being the call for them. And I actually want to instate some rules for round 2s because I feel like a lot of the time we really, you talk about the game, but it's like, it's SMGs versus pistols. Like, let's not get into this. So, I believe the conditions for hard analyzing a round 2 are as follows.
Okay.
One is the losing team of the pistols forced out the round, and the second is the team that one pistol loses 2 players. Then there's a chance for it to spin
They
around.
lost 1 player. We're
No, we don't talk about it just yet.
Okay.
We wait for the second to come through, and then we start to believe, okay?
Okay, I'm waiting. Festival has an SMG. Surely we've met the rules already.
That's sort of, well, no, they picked that up.
Okay, we've met the rules.
We've
now,
met the rules.
Fennel
Talk
has
about
2
the game.
kills, and Guild has a Bucky left. This could be a catastrophe for the EMEA first seed, as they're down to just 2 now. Fennel's been able to split all the way through into this B site, and now Roxy has a shotgun and a ghost for the retake.
You don't think that's ideal?
Probably not.
I don't know, right click used to be pretty good. Oh, she switches up with the ghost. It's not the Bucky that's gonna do you, and it's the ghost, the Molly too, to push Festival off this angle. Still some belief here. Interesting choice from Festival to eat up some damage and potentially get an earlier peak timing.
Oh, but look at Roxy, she's contacted so close. Len not ready for her. Another kill on the ghost.
What?
Third! What the hell is Roxy doing?
Roxy is just unreal. With the ghost, is just finding all of these kills, turning it completely around. Guild managed to win that.
Revise the rules. You can never count Guild out of a second round when they have the money.
Unbelievable. I just don't even know what to make that Festival too. Finding the headshots through the concuss, gotta love that.
That's just a certified Roxy moment. She's been so good.
I mean, the heartbreak, again, for Fennel. It feels like they did everything right that round, and then 1 Killjoy with a ghost. It's in the name. What can I say?
I'm not biting on that one. Not funny.
Denied. Joke denied. Okay, that hurts.
You just don't get comedy. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's your job now. I'm serious mode. Oh man, and Smurfette with the early push. I mean, good news for Fennel is that still, of course, they're going to have rifles coming into this one. Bad news is Kurumi already out of the picture.
That's a tough one to recover from. Something good for Fennel, though, is Festival. She's in a pretty solid position here.
And check this out. I got to note, Fennel smoked off the Killjoy turret. So that's something that is a much more difficult, I think, to do with the chamber trip that's a little bit more out in the open, but that will allow them to actually get all the way up into connector.
Roxy should be aware. She saw that smoke, so they're very, very aware of this possibility. You see Smurfette working her way all the way through to contain the possibility of the spawn push.
Is she ready for 2 players, though? Chances for Fennel to trade one another out, or Suzu just to instantly get this kill. Still a tough position to walk into, but Len is good on the shots. Now Anya moving forward. Festival right here around the corner, though, but Anya is just better.
What an adjustment out of her. Excellent thus far in the series, and now a big bit of space to work with. Art reclaimed, and Roxy splitting from the spawn side. She'll have to relent for a moment with this aftershock coming through, and she is being flanked, but it could get awkward here. Roxy aware, though. So ready again from Roxy. This Killjoy does not stop, but Suzu, yeah, that task just too tough. A 12th round to Guild.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a tough one because it feels like Fennel, really creative way, smoking off the turret and then pushing down deep into connector. Very clever idea to come into the round, but just in the presence towards A main. Not overcommitting, though, as a couple of players still going to be working down B long, Suzu in particular.
And look at this. Roxy saw the gap that got created and instantly changed it. New setup, so good out of her and Guild. Every round they have something new. They're not getting complacent even though they're stomping.
And the Killjoy setup is in B-Link because they're pushing down B long. You don't need the alarm there to guard for that. Fennel blitzing out onto the site. Great opener by Len. Traded out by Festival too. A very winnable round still here for Fennel.
But they have to deal with the Loch Ness monster lurking in her smoke, ready to pounce out of the water and find something here. Into 3 versus 3. Her teammates slow to John Smurfette. Oh, spots out Festival. Reswing is good. First kill found. And now only 2. Fatal will be committed for Karumi. There's a player in main as well. Kaharu, does she swing? Can't. She's spotted out by the utility. And Ness is there. She's activated from the deep. Guild is ready. 13-3. A dominant map number 1.
Absolutely smashing opening here. Guild giving them the business on that one. Look, I think favorites coming into this match.